Now, yesterday we had a lot of fun having the boys in studio talking about what men can do in campaigns like Movember. And of course, it is currently 16 days of activism, so marked by our white ribbons. And of course, we take a look now at the darker side of what we need to be concentrating on during this campaign particularly. Yes, it's about celebrating women, celebrating children and the rights that they have earned. But sadly, it's also about turning an eye inward as men. Sadly, those that are perpetrating the violence against women and children. And I love the sound of this. One man can make a difference, and it begins at home. This is the battle cry of the Sonke Gender Justice Organization. Dean Peacock is the executive director. Dean, well, I'm going to shake your hand, sir, because of the work that you are doing.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us on the show.
It's a proud moment for us to be a part of 16 days in any situation, but this is something that I think the boys here at Expresso feel very strongly about. Sadly, this is something we're going to have to come to terms with, that we as men are the biggest part of the problem.
So, I think that's right. What's important to remember is that most men in South Africa do not use violence. So even though far too many men do, the majority don't. The statistics that we have, about a quarter of men report that they've committed an act of rape. That's an outrageously high number.
Sure.
But if we turn it around, 75% of men have not. The same applies to domestic violence. So a majority of men have not committed an act of violence against women and want to do something about it. So our campaign calls on those men to say, let's figure out what we as men in South Africa can do together to end the problem of domestic and sexual violence.
Now, when this campaign, this year's international campaign, was first revealed, the major focus in other parts of the world is on areas that are currently in conflict, civil war, looking at how those situations strip away the rights of the vulnerable. South Africa doesn't have that kind of situation, to have the kind of numbers that we do relating to abuse and murder. That's something that we also have to put out there. It's not just abuse, it is murder in South Africa is unforgivable.
No, absolutely. So in South Africa, the statistics are a woman is killed every 6 hours in a domestic violence incident. So that's 4 murders a day. And it's the highest rate anywhere in the world. So it is something we have to grapple with. And I think we as men have to think about, what can we do to challenge that violence? When we hear men celebrating violence against women, when we know that something is going on, what can we do? In our families, in our communities, if we've got a cousin and we suspect that he's abusing his girlfriend or his partner, we have to speak out. And that's what we're calling on men to do, to not remain silent. For too long, men have not been called to take action on this issue. And our work, our One Man Can campaign, our Brothers for Life campaigns, call on men to take action.
How do we do that? What do we do?
Yeah, so there's a lot that we can do. We can be role models. At home, we can role model non-violence, we can role model equality for our kids, we can talk to our boys early and often about the importance of respecting girls. And as I say, most importantly, we can role model it. So in the workplace, we can treat women with respect. We can build the leadership of women without feeling threatened as men. So I think most important, we can role model equality, we can role model respect. Equally importantly, we can work with women to demand that our government implements the laws, implements effective prevention campaigns across the country.
And of course, this is what your organization is all about. How do people connect with you? How can other organizations and individuals work closely with you towards this end?
So we work in all 9 provinces, and people can look on our website, www.genderjustice.org.za, to find out how they can connect with us. We have community action teams of concerned men and women working together in communities across the country. And people can join those, they can take action together to address this problem. And we know that the time is now. We've got to end this.
Not to end on a negative. In your experience, what is a South African man? We've got so many negative stereotypes out there. In your mind, what should we all be striving for?
So we've got an incredibly proud history of demanding equality, right? And we've won in those campaigns, in those efforts to bring about equality and democracy in South Africa. And so I think the best of us as men are invested in that tradition, want to live in a country that's democratic, where there's equality for men and for women, racial equality, where there's social justice. And so I think for us as men, what we can aspire to is to embody that commitment to democracy and equality.
And we call for such high standards of our leaders. Let's show it at home. One man really can make a difference.
Thank you so
Dean,
much.
thank you so much,
Thanks
sir.
a lot.
Continue flying that flag. Amazing work that you are doing. We've fought so hard for these rights. Let's now protect them, make sure that we are using this opportunity to further the rights of our women, our children, our wives, our children, and it starts at home. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
I'd love to know what you are doing to aid the fight against violence against women and children during this year's campaign of 16 Days of Activism. Let us know on our Facebook page.